Okay, guys. Hi. I just wanted to do a quick video to kind of guide you on one of like the first big assignments that you do on Blackboard to kind of show you, how to do the assignment and how to submit it on Blackboard. Especially for those of us that may not be as familiar with Blackboard. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to share my screen with you guys right now so you guys can see our Blackboard. And I'm sharing this with many classes. So if it's not your particular course's Blackboard, it's still set up the same way. All right, so once you're logged onto Blackboard, you're going to go to the left-hand menu and you're going to click on Experience 1. And then we're going to go down to week 2 because this week's homework assignment, the brainstorming questions with AI assignment, is going to be in week 2. If I assigned it on that week, that's where you're going to go back to submit it. And then once we're in week 2, we're just going to scroll down until we find that assignment. Everything's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. And there it is. Number 5 is the brainstorming and question development with ChatGPT. So there are 4 parts to this assignment that we're going to have to complete. And then once we're ready to submit it, we're going to click on the assignment, which is you just click right there. You go back. You're going to click where it actually says number 5, brainstorming and questions development. You're just going to click right on that, and that'll take you into the submission area. I'll show you how to submit that once we complete this. So it's really important. There are 4 parts of the assignment. You want to complete all 4 parts. If you don't complete a part fully, that's going to cost you points. If you don't complete one part, I treat it like you didn't complete it at all. And you'll lose that 25 points. So all 4 parts is worth 25 points each. That kind of thing. All right. So we're going to start with part 1. Create your own question in your own words about what you're interested in investigating this semester. It has to be about reading, writing, research, learning, language, communication within your major. And I know it can be kind of tough to come up with questions. So maybe if you can't form the question in your own words right now, just what the topic is. There's no right or wrong way to do here. I just want to know, like, what are you interested in investigating? So I'm going to do, I was going to make it really clear, part 1, and then I'm just going to write down what I'm interested in. I'm interested in, or what you want to learn about, or what the question is, right? I'm interested in how plagiarism and AI affect English majors writing, something like that. Like I'm interested in those things. I don't know if I have the question set up just right, but that's kind of what I'm interested in. If I have more things that I'm interested in, I can write them. I can write more, or I can just leave it at one thing. Either way. I'm mostly interested in that, so I'm going to leave it at that one thing. And I'm going to go now to part 2. So I'm just going to go back to the assignment and let's read what it says for part 2. Let's go to ChatGPT, ask the following. There's a little bit of prompt there. You can just copy paste that and then put in your own words what you're interested in, and then take a screenshot or picture of all the possible questions provided by ChatGPT and upload them. So this is really, really important. When you do work with ChatGPT, I'm always going to ask you to take pictures and just take pictures of everything you in the ChatGPT do. I'm going to ask you to be transparent. We're absolutely going to use it, but you've got to be transparent with me. So we're going to go to ChatGPT. There's a link to it up here. So I'm just going to click on that and it'll take me there. Oh, it's opening. It's opening. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just paste the prompt, the prompt that I have here. It's easier to do that. Into the message ChatGPT at the very bottom. And instead of just going, you have to go in there and where it says input your research interest or what you want to learn, that's where you're going to put your topic, what you want to investigate. So it says develop several potential research questions that investigate, and then I'll put my topic, how plagiarism and AI affect English majors writing. Just the thing that I'm interested in, and then I'm going to hit send message. And the chat is going to develop potential research questions that might be useful. Now, when you look at these questions, you're going to notice, oh my God, they're like massive. They're overly verbose. They go off on things that may not be as interesting. They're not intended to be taken just directly, but rather to help inspire your own ideas. and to help you, you can take one and revise it to better meet your need, because, you know, not everything that's talking about is gonna be useful. So are specific linguistic or stylistic patterns in the writing English majors can be associated with the use of AI generated? I'm not interested in that. What are the motivations? To what extent do institutions integrate measures effectively? What perception? Like, these are too overly wordy. Like, I can't even say them. There's so much in there, and it's just not my natural way of speaking. Ooh, this is interesting. How do social cultural factors influence the prevalence of plagiarism among English majors using AI tools? And how can educational institutions tailor interventions to address these? It's overly verbose, but I do like that idea. I'm interested in that. I would definitely be interested in cultural influences impacting the way students view AI usage and plagiarism in the English major. And there, you notice that my own language is much more natural and flows easily versus the way that this kind of clunky language is. So I like that. So I'm probably going to end up using that question. Now, what I got to do is for part 2, I need to take a picture of my interaction with the AI. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just screen cap everything that the AI and I talked about, which means I'm probably going to make several screen caps because I want to show Bonnie. I'm going to be super transparent. This is the entire conversation I had with the AI. This is what we did. So for me, I'm just going to screen capture it, but you can also just take your phone and take several pictures. Like I would take a picture there, and then I would scroll, take the next picture, and scroll, take the next picture, so that I show Bonnie all of the interactions. I'm going to do it on my computer, which I'm just going to go Control Print Screen for the first half of that. I'm going to go back to my assignment, and I'm just going to paste the image in. And then, since that's not the whole conversation, right, I'm going to go back to the AI and scroll down, and then the next part of the conversation, Control Print Screen. Just want to show Bonnie everything. I'm being super transparent. Like, this is what me and the AI talked about, nothing to hide, that kind of thing. And then, of course, there's still a few more questions and a few more interactions that I had. So I'm going to go back to the AI, scroll down, and show the remaining interaction. Control Print Screen. So in this case, I had to include 3 different pictures to show the totality of the interaction. But there you go. So that's part 2. Just screen cap it. Go have the interaction. Go brainstorm with the AI. And then take pictures of what you and the AI did. This is going to help me not only see the not only are you being transparent, but it's also going to help me see how you're prompting the AI. And if you did mess up, I'll be able to identify where you kind of maybe made an error in your input to get an output from the AI. And I can then give you feedback. Say, you know what, the reason you didn't get the kind of questions you're looking for is because you said this when you probably should have said this. So that kind of thing. Now we're going to go to part 3. So for part 3, I'm just going to make it real clear down here. 1, 2, 3, part 3. So let's go see what is part 3. I'm going to go back to the assignment. And it says part 3, personalizing an AI-generated research question. So I'm going to identify a question or questions. Maybe you like 2 or 3 of them. It's up to you, but at least one. And you're going to revise it and personalize it. You know, the questions that the AI generates, they're very non-human language. You saw that as soon as I started kind of rephrasing the question in my own language. I kind of needed to because it didn't make sense otherwise. So I want you to pick a question, and then I want you to revise it to meet your needs and to meet your voice and your ideas. And not everything in a question is going to be something that you're going to use. So let me show you. The question that I liked was this one. I mean, I liked some of the ideas, and I don't like the entire thing. I'm not interested in doing a massive research question like that. But there are parts of this that I do find interesting. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put here AI to show the AI question. And I copy pasted it in there. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my own revision. I think because I pasted directly, it's giving me some weird like table stuff. Let me come in here and paste it. There you go. And then I'm going to put my revision. So I'm going to revise this question to better meet my needs, my interests, and the investigation that I want to do, as well as my voice and my language. So I'll look at the question to kind of remember like what was inspiring about this question, what was interesting. but then I'm going to have to look away to be able to write my own question because I keep looking at it. I'm going to end up using the same language, which isn't my own language. Like I don't talk like that. So I'm going to look at it. Okay, so now I'm going to look away. So I'm interested in how cultural factors affect the way English majors view AI use and plagiarism. There it is. That's the question I'm interested in. How do cultural factors impact the way English majors view AI use and plagiarism in writing? Right. And I might get more specific. I might have to just focus on AI use or just plagiarism as I move forward. But right now, that's it. Now, this is more my natural language, my interest, and it doesn't use everything from there. This was a starting point. It helped me brainstorm. It helped me think of ideas. It helped me pull in that other perspective that I might not have pulled in were it not for my brainstorming with the AI. Like when I was interested, I was just like, how do English majors sorry, I'm just fixing up my writing. I was interested in AI and plagiarism in English major, and were it not for me brainstorming with the AI, I would never have thought about the cultural impacts. I was like, oh, I'm quite fascinated by that. Like, do different cultural, values have an impact on the way that we view AI as plagiarism or not? Or that got more specific. How do cultural values? My question's getting a little bit more specific. Impacted. Yeah, I think it's an interesting question. So that's it. That's part 3. Now, one thing I'm going to ask you to do is if you are using a lot of direct language from the AI, I want you to highlight it however you want to use, however you want to do it. For example, like the word cultural did come from the AI, so I'm just going to highlight it. Sorry, I'm not going to turn it red. I'm going to highlight it in. I saw highlighted in. I like the color pink, so I'm going to go with pink. But that's just me. Impact the way English majors. I mean, we both said the word English majors. I'll highlight it, but it's more, I think it's more mine. Both using the word AI. We're both using the word plagiarism. But if you notice, the majority of this question is actually mine. Like it's really, really become my own. Even the word English major, AI, and plagiarism, those are just the words that I brought to the table at the very beginning. The only thing that really I am pulling from the AI at this point is that discussion of culture, which is fascinating. And I was able to do this because I did back away from it. And so if you're having a hard time not using the language of the AI, sometimes it's because it is in your wheelhouse, it is part of your language, and that's okay. Use it if you need to use it. But walk away from it, step away from it for a moment and see if you don't have a more natural way, or a more like you way of saying what you're interested in and the ideas, that kind of thing. And lastly, for part 4, you're just going to answer some reflective questions about your use of the AI, which is pretty easy. So you come down here and the final questions are right here. So I want to know, how did using the AI help you improve or come up with a better research question? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 4 questions, and because I kind of like, me personally, like as a writer, doing my work and that kind of stuff, I like to see the questions as I'm answering them. I'm just going to copy paste them in, and I'm going to answer the questions in my own language. If you prefer to answer them in Spanish, answer them in Spanish. Korean, Arabic, Chinese, whatever language you're most comfortable in, answer in that language that you have the most control. So for me, how did it help me improve? Well, it gave me a different, I guess, perspective and viewpoint. If I hadn't used the AI, I wouldn't have thought about looking into the cultural aspect of it. Right, that's it. This is not, it could be for some of us, our answers might be shorter, some of us answers might be longer. I don't really care. This isn't about how short or how long. I'm not going to like take points away if you answer with just one sentence. I just want to get in your head. I want to know what it was like for you to use this. And I also believe that if at the end of the day, when you're done using AI, you take a little bit of moment to think about what it was that you were doing, you're going to get way more out of that experience than if you just do it and move away from it. And that's what I want you guys to become. I want you to become more aware, more thoughtful users of AI, so that when you go into the workforce, you have a real genuine sense of, understanding and knowledge base that'll make you that much stronger in the long term. When you're done answering all 4 questions, just going to save your file somewhere on your computer. Me, I like to save everything to my desktop, but save wherever you do. Me, I'm going to create an assignment here or a folder in my desktop, and I'll call this one Assignments for English 1301. Rename English 1302, sorry, assignments. And I'm going to go ahead and save my assignments in there. And now that I've saved it, I have it backed up, that kind of good stuff. I'm going to go back to my Blackboard. And since I'm already in the submission, right, we get there by simply clicking on it. If you're still on the week, super easy. When you get to the assignment, you're just going to click on it. You're going to go to the top where it says Brainstorming and Question Development with ChatGPT. You're going to click on it. They'll take you into the submission area. We're going to come down here and we're simply going to upload the Word document. So I'm going to go look for it on my desktop, and I'm going to find it now. Probably there it is. It's in that folder. There it is. I'm just going to submit it that way. You can also do you can submit each part individually, like part 1, part 2, part 3. You can submit as many files as you need to submit. For example, if I had multiple parts, I could submit another one, that kind of thing, or the images individually. It's up to you. You can put everything on one document or submit them individually. When you're done, make sure that you do hit that orange submit button on the bottom right-hand side so it does submit. If you don't, it won't fully submit and it will be counted as a 0. And that's all you got to do, and you'll be done. So make sure you do that before class begins next week. See you guys later. Bye.